Kevin Downswell is in the building. Welcome to the crossover, dear
Thank
sir.
you. Thank you. Wow.
What have you been doing? What have you been doing during COVID? What have you been up to? What's going on? Talk to me.
I mean, thank you so much for having me.
Yeah.
This interview has been well overdue, like long time. And big up to Shannon first.
Yeah.
Let me big up the producer. But I'm so grateful. We've just dropped a new single, Grace. And the pandemic has been quite interesting because we were supposed to drop an album before the pandemic.
Yeah.
The pandemic hit, and the Lord just directed us a complete different path. Him say, you know what? For this whole season, while people are going through, I want you to focus your energy and your time to get them through it.
Right.
And so we dropped Carry Me. Right at the start of the pandemic. We had no idea what was about to come, but we dropped it, and now that song is now an anthem.
Yeah, especially with Romaine, Virgo, and the combination together is really a strong one. Let's get into that one right now. It's Carry Me. Of course, Kevin Downswell, who's in the building, and Romaine, Virgo.
I need you, I need you. When the road is long and heavy, when it's dark and I can't see clearly, I will lift mine eyes to the hills from whence my help cometh. My help, it comes from you. Never been before, place I never seen before. When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me. Father, carry me. When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me. Father, carry me. My brother Romaine. When the road is long and heavy, when it's dark and I can't see clearly, I will lift my eyes to the hills from whence my help cometh. My help, it comes from you.
Lead me, oh, lead me, oh, lead me, where I never been before, a place I never seen before. Let me and say,
When I come to the end of
Father, carry me, Father, carry me. Sing, brother.
when I come to the end of myself,
Father, carry me, Father, carry me.
I know my help comes from the Lord, one who made heaven and earth. You're mighty, yes, you're stronger than any other. Yeah.
One thing that I desire of you, that I may dwell here with you forever. I'm chasing no other. Everybody listening up, lift up a paintbrush for me and just declare this. To the chorus, right there. Right here, sister. When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me. Father, carry me.
One more time.
When I come to the end of myself, Father, carry me. Father, carry me.
That's right. The course, Kevin Downswell in the building featuring Romaine Virgo. That song right there is called Carry Me. Now, what does music do for you? Talk to me. What does it put it in words? What?
That's like a general and a very precise question.
Exactly. Exactly.
Music is everything.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, when I was studying at UA, and people say, you're going to be a doctor.
They were telling you that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was going after it because they said it.
Yeah.
But deep down, I knew there was something else I was called to do that would bring healing to people.
Yeah.
And let me tell you something. The day I said, I said, you know what, I'm going to stop fight with God. I'm going to stop. Father, all right. So I graduated, got my degree, and now, I'm getting ready for medicine because I got to from medicine. And, we just feel like God just step in and say, no, brother.
That's not for you.
Next route.
Different kind of healing.
It was rough because it's like for you to accept something like that, you're going full time in it's like something uncertain. You're dropping something that's certain, 9 to 5.
Right.
To something that's very uncertain.
Very uncertain.
But let me tell you something. If you're in this for money, that's the wrong view.
I tell people all the time.
I knew that I was called to bring something, like almost like a channel. God had just something to say.
It's the same
and I was just
field. It's the same field, but a different approach. Healing is healing. And a lot of times people don't understand music actually can really be healing, not just mentally, but physically. Frequencies, sounds, what you're putting all up in here.
That's it.
It helps. So, you're still a doctor, but you're a doctor of music.
And people will say you're a spiritual doctor. I'm not a spiritual doctor.
Yes, you are.
Because at the end of the day, I'm just a vessel because I cannot heal nobody.
So how does that not make you a spirit? You're a vessel who is spiritually doctoring people. How does that not connect?
The vessel can't be the thing that it carries. So God is the one who does all of that.
Okay.
And so I'm this little boy who grew up in a South with utter poverty. Grew up and just decides, you know what, I'm gonna give myself to God. And so at the end of the day, when people look up and say, "Man, you're big," me say, "No, not really.
Not yet."
It's just a youth with surrender.
I want to know that my legacy is gonna be living on well after I'm gone. Then I know, right? Exactly.
Nikki,
I know.
you're a preacher, no, Nikki?
No, I'm not. Don't
Nikki,
leave me alone.
Nikki, you're a preacher, no?
Leave me alone, sir. Between you and Shannon, y'all keep trying to. I don't know what y'all. Every other week, he bringing me somebody from church. I don't know what he trying to do.
No, seriously, that was deep though.
But it's true.
Yeah.
I feel like people just don't take time to stop and breathe and understand life. These things are basic common knowledge things, but sometimes we don't stop to breathe to understand it. You know what I mean? But, the church is a place right now where the new generation is kind of more wary and more wary of, because it's like you hear so much negativity. And then there's a whole other section of people who feel judged by it. So, what would you say to the younger generation who's also with that battle between the vessel that is a church and their spirituality?
It's tough.
Yeah.
It's tough. And let's not try to put no facade on it.
Yeah.
The reality is it's tough. When something looks way more attractive these days to these guys, it's hard for you to convince them with something to say, have faith.
Yeah.
When at the end of the day, on the other side, they don't need to have faith for something else that's way more easier. And so it's always going to be an uphill battle. But let me tell you, but let me leave this now as the centerpiece.
Yeah.
It was tough for me, growing up in the ghetto, having gun, coke, everything around me. It was tough for me growing up on Maxfield Avenue, Waterhouse, Central Village, having everything in my midst.
Yep.
But at the end of the day, I made a decision. I said to myself, you know what, this is not for me.
Right. And
I said to myself, you know what, I want something better. And just wanting something better led me to the one who made all things better.
And led positive energy your way as well.
Exactly.
Because people can tell. Look, you all are pieces of energy. So if you walk around with anger, people can feel it a mile away.
That's it.
If you walk around and you're depressed, that stank of depression, it reeks.
Fill the room.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you actually want better, you gotta yourself as your own body.
It's not gonna come.
It ain't gonna come.
You're gonna have to get up and make that decision that I don't want.
Tell
this
that
no more.
to them people that always say, "Yeah, man, just pray." No, see, I keep trying to tell them it's more than that. It's more than that.
It's more than that. You pray,
action.
but you see the minute you get up off of your knee, you better put prayer into action because faith without work is dead. So go back to these young people. it's challenging, but but it doesn't mean it's like an oxymoron.
Yeah.
It's what is challenging don't mean it's not good. It's not that what is easy is good. And it doesn't mean because it's challenging you don't do it.
Right.
It's just that it's going to take a lot more out of you. And the crowd might not be with you, but when you know something is truth, brother, walk in it.
Exactly.
Because at the end of the day, if at the end of the day, everybody at the end of this life are gonna answer.
Yeah.
And so I would challenge all young people. Listen, it's not the easy way that's always the better way.
Nope. And honestly, a lot of y'all know what y'all doing don't feel good to you. Yeah. You know, you're with that guy, and to be honest with you, he don't make your soul feel good at the end of the day. It's just someone you wanted. Or, you know, you're hanging with that crowd that, yeah, they might be the cool crowd, but at the end of the day, you still don't feel good about it.
And we know it, you know.
Yeah, we know.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. It's
we
like
know
there
it.
is something in us that
you're
tells
in
us.
that crowd, and you know that you're saying to yourself, why am I here? But it's like we are such people pleasers. We don't want the friends to be upset. We don't want the girlfriend to make us feel.
Or we want to be cool. Let's be honest. You want to be cool, kid. Yeah.
Exactly. But there's something I learned. Who was it? C.S. Lewis. He's at C.S. Lewis, one of those long-time fathers. It's very important for you to recognize you were not made to please people. No. Because if you live your life to please everybody, who are you?
You will never know yourself. Now, big question for people that are listening right now. There's a lot of what I call religious fanatics on the island. And what I refer to as a religious fanatic is those that kind of go to the extreme of religion without actually using their common sense to what's reality and what's not. And those are the ones that are getting taken into these weird cult things, finding bodies in church, supposed to be properties and stuff like that. So to Jamaicans out there who really are struggling with differentiating reality, spirituality, the real true spirit of what's out there versus some guy in a fancy coat with a fancy car who's scamming the living out of you. How do they make that differentiation?
If you have a creator, and in every man, every woman, every boy, every girl, there's something deep inside of you that knows the truth. Yeah. No matter what you say to yourself, he left something deep inside of you for you to be able to connect with him and know exactly what's not him and what is him. And so no matter, as a matter of fact, people love to go. I realize that people try to do extra to draw attention. Yep. But the God that I serve is not. He no need to draw no attention. Him simple. As a matter of fact, he has nothing to prove to nobody. Nope. And so it's like people are drawn by the extremes, by the hype and by the vibe and by the this. And at the end of the day, the God that we are talking about, him no need to prove nothing to nobody. Him no need to wear the shoes we are wearing, no need to wear the watch we are wearing. Nope. He is God all by himself. And so I think I come back to the point that I started with. You know God. You sit down on that couch, you're in the car or drive right now, wherever you're there. You know God. You know God because he left a piece of himself inside of you. And so in all the different things that you think are confusing, I don't know what's this, what's that, that's confusing. Why is he like this? In between all of it, you know the truth. I bet you.
Exactly. And instead of worrying about why he's like that or why she's like that,
listen,
you're supposed to worry about self-love. Yeah. Kevin Downswell in the building.
Grace. Can't do without you. Yeah.
The Bridge 99 FM, keeping the Caribbean connected.
Some say I wouldn't, said I couldn't, wondered if I could. Battles in my head. Times I felt lost and broken, felt like I couldn't make it through the day. But I know God has spoken, and he promised not to leave me. So I'm standing here today saying, how did I get here? I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, I call it grace, grace, grace,
grace brought me here, God. If it wasn't for your grace.
Oh, we gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back. We gotta bring it back.
God. Yeah.
That's right. Labor Day Monday.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Let's go, Bridge
Oh,
Nation.
yeah.
Thank you.
Thank
you.
Oh, yeah. Some said I wouldn't, said I couldn't. I wondered if I could. Battles in my head. Times I felt lost and broken. Felt like I couldn't make it through the day. But I know God had spoken, and He promised not to leave me. So I'm standing here today saying, how did I get here? Everybody, I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here, God. If it wasn't for your grace, times I felt lost and broken. Felt like I would have never made it through the day. But I know God had spoken, and He promised not to leave me. Never knew you'd still be here. Never knew you'd still be safe in your right mind. Never knew you'd smile again with all you've been through. Never knew you'd hope again. So I'm standing here today singing, how did I get here? Every, I call it grace, grace, grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, hey, I call it grace, grace, grace brought me here.
It's Kevin Downswell in the building. The track is called Grace. Let's keep going with it. Let's go.
Everybody watching, everybody listening, put your hand up in the air for me. As you look back and you look at you the last 2-3 years. Have you ever been through something and come out on the other side and looked back and wondered how? You know it's a miracle, 'cause God is with you. 'Cause without Him, where would we be? Listen, I call it grace, grace, grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, I call it grace, grace, oh grace. Grace brought me here. If it wasn't for your grace, if it wasn't for your everybody.
That's right, the voice of Kevin Downswell in the building. And this song right here is called Grace, Kevin Downswell. That's a big song, and it's a big album. The album drops Friday or last Friday? This Friday or last Friday?
No, this single, this is actually the single that we're dropping now.
Oh, the single. So what up with the whole album?
We decided to hold the album back because this track is too big.
I got the whole album though.
Yeah, we don't want to shadow seriously.
I'm just saying, I got it. I'm just saying, change is coming.
No. I feel like those songs are actually what my guys sent, who are a part of my other answer, but that's not the album. It's Nikki.
Okay.
That's not it yet. That's not it yet.
Oh, they didn't. So they just sent me a collaborative
they
of
sent
songs.
you some good songs.
Okay.
Some strong songs.
Okay.
But we decided to pull the album back because this song is monumental, you know?
Yeah.
Because people have been through a lot. And we just feel like we need to give this song breathing space. Go into the summer with it. And see what happens, because people been like amazed by just the atmosphere about on this song.
Yeah.
And so we just decided pull back, give the song some breathing room, and just see what happens.
Do what it do.
Yeah.
I tell you, a lot more people, I think, are trying to find their spiritual side And they're trying to find a balance with that as well. So, I mean, I love stuff like that. Like, I hear different types of religious artists or religious preachers, and some of them I'm just like, and then you got voices like yours or like a Chevelle Franklin, and it's more soothing. It's not like it's bullying me into,
Whoa, what a choice of word.
Because that's what it feels like. Like, especially even when I'm sitting like, I'm in country. I'm in Port Antonio, and it's Sunday morning, and I'm like listening to the sounds of nature, and right across the bush you hear some pastor, you're gonna die, you're gonna go to hell, and I'm just like, calm down, sir. You know, I just feel like if more people really understood, you don't need to always shout at people. Some people just need you to talk to them. I think a lot more people would find their way more.
As a matter of fact, in a season and a time like this, people need to just sit down and talk to people.
Talk to people.
You know, have no idea what they might go through, and just by maybe talking to them, you have no idea what can happen from there. So.
Talking to them, taking away the judgment from your speech.
Man, just talk to people.
Talk to people. That's
we don't have to go on like we have a chip on the shoulder. We don't have to go on like we're better than anybody else.
Exactly.
Talk to people.
Exactly, and let people make their choices. The most we can do is say, hey, I might not agree with it, but if you make this decision, these might be some of the consequences you might face, so be prepared for that. Or it may go your way. Be prepared for that. But I'm here for you either way. We need to be more loving. Yes,
I
of course.
never want anybody to decide to serve Christ forced.
Yeah.
It has to be your decision.
Yeah.
Because it won't last.
Yeah, no.
Anything that doesn't come from your heart. That's really, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
I feel like this is my life. I feel like I want to change my life now.
Yeah.
If you can't do anything in life, nothing lasts unless it's
you mean it
from right here.
From the heart.
So I'd never want anybody to just say I'm going to serve God and it's through brutality.
Yep.
And being compelled. No.
Well, you don't have to worry about them bullying me into it. Not at all. What's your social media? Where can people find you? And are you going to give us any approximate timing on the entire album?
Well, I don't. My guys, I'm sure my guys watching now and saying, Kevin, if you ever. So I'm going to respect my team and say.
Your team is bullying you?
No.
That sounds like they're bullying you.
That's love. That's rough love.
All right, fine.
And that's business love.
All right.
But Instagram, Kevin Downswell.
Yeah.
Twitter, Kevin Downswell. YouTube, Kevin Downswell. Facebook. The only difference is Kevin Downswell, Kevin Downswell Ministry.
Social security number?
My booking? What? What?
Just checking.
Well, how much social security is what? 7 numbers?
Something
0,
like
0,
that.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0,
One of
0,
them
0.
something, yeah. No scammer, beware.
I'm actually in Florida next week too for Memorial
Nice.
Fest.
Yeah.
This big concert in Florida. Yeah.
Best of the best.
One of them.
Best of this
But I'll be
weekend.
there.
The best of the best one, right?
Some Memorial Fest big show.
Best of the best.
Yeah,
That's what I'm trying to tell you. With Bobby, I'm not Jabba and
I'll be in Florida. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're gonna bring some Holy
I'm actually
Spirit
being.
into that.
I'm gonna be down Tivoli.
Oh.
There's some stuff going on down there.
What's going on in Tivoli?
I don't know what's going on, but as I flew in,
He's like,
a few days
I'm
ago,
gonna be there.
my booking headline said, you know what?
Yeah.
Tivoli. They need me down there to do some ministry, and I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Nikki, there's nothing that stirs me, than being around real people, who go
Absolutely.
through. So I'm looking forward to that.
High Bridge, y'all know I'm ready to go on the road, right? I like this little room I'm in, but y'all know I like to be on the streets with the people. That's where I want to be.
Yes,
they got me in this room, man.
Room don't go.
I'm ready to spread my
We're outside now.
and fly away.
Yeah, outside is in. Outside is in. Yeah.
Outside is in. The great Kevin Downswell in the building. We can't take a break without me dropping this right here. So make sure you follow him at Kevin Downswell across all the social media forums. And make sure you stream the new song called Grace and stream all the old ones while you're at it. Just do what you do. It's The Bridge 99.